Hey there, folks. Welcome to Spectrum Pulse. We talk about music, movies, art, and culture, and it's Billboard Breakdown. I don't remember. So I'm not gonna lie, I needed an easy come down week. There's a couple big releases on my docket that I'm working towards. I'm coming up on my 5th anniversary on YouTube, among other things, so there's other stuff I'd rather focus on right now than Billboard Breakdown. So just a moment to catch my breath before the avalanche of Drake coming off of Scorpion. Yeah, that's very welcome. And it's also nice to see that some of my predictions actually paid off, starting with our top 10, where I Like It by Cardi B featuring Bad Bunny and J Balvin finally took the number 1. Everybody, including myself, we called this as a hit the second we heard the album in full, and I can't deny that I'm happy that it's here. Although for how long, it's going to be in question, because it's a week number 1 and it's not yet dominant on sales or streaming, where YouTube's doing a lot of heavy lifting, and while it is surging on airplay, is it going to be enough? It was enough to outstrip Sad by XXXTentacion, slipping down to number 2 despite the video, and given the Drake album bomb coming and the chart rules changing for streaming next week, I would not put money on even massive streaming bringing this back any higher. And it's a similar case for Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD up to number 3. When all you have is streaming, you become a lot more susceptible to major shifts or when they change the rules. It's one reason why Girls Like You by Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B will probably stick around a bit more. Great sales, solid enough streaming, and plenty of its own radio traction. It's diverse and easily enough to take it up to number 4. Then there's Psycho by Post Malone featuring Ty Dolla $ign pushed down to number 5. Yeah, sales are okay, streaming is up, but it's losing radio. I'd say its position's kind of tenuous right now. Something I won't say about Nice for What by Drake down at number 6. Yeah, for now its streaming and sales are a little soft, and radio it's near its peak, but with Scorpion coming, even with the rules changing, I predict a big rebound for this one. Then there's Boo'd Up by LMA still at number 7, finally having a good sales week, even as the radio and streaming seem unstable, which is not a good sign right now. Now this could be good for No Tears Left to Cry by Ariana Grande up to number 8. Sales are rebounding and radio growth is pretty steady. Yeah, streaming's not good, but it'll likely weather the impact better than many other songs above it that are solely reliant on streaming next week. What'll likely be more interesting to watch is God's Plan by Drake to number 9, the slow YouTube streaming beast that seems to never die, even as its radio and streaming are both weakening. Scorpion will likely give it another boost, but how much of one? And finally getting its own boost thanks to the album, Meant to Be by Baby Rexha featuring Florida Georgia Line is back in our top 10 at number 10. With good sales compensating for weaknesses pretty much everywhere else, it's not gonna last in the top 10. And on that topic are losers and dropouts. Only a few big ones this week. Pray For Me by The Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar comfortably making the year-end list, and I Don't Give a Fuck by Dua Lipa unfortunately just missing it. Also there's Dame Tu Cosita by El Chombo, but I prefer not to acknowledge that song exists. Now our losers, they're a pretty mixed bag, but it also looks like outside of Drake's coming rebound with I'm Upset falling down to 26, it's gonna go back up with Scorpion. The big loser was Nicki Minaj, with Chun-Li falling to 62, and Bed with Ariana Grande going to 67. Not a good sign for Queen coming, especially with Drake coming shortly and likely to push these songs down. Now the rest of our losses are more scattered. Fake Love by BTS slide down to 76, Yikes by Kanye West continuing down to 77, I Lived It by Blake Shelton losing any short sales boost to 85, Praise the Lord to Shine by A$AP Rocky and Skepta dropped to 92, Born to Be Yours by Kygo and Imagine Dragons unfortunately fell off the debut to 94, and Boss by Jay-Z and Beyonce hit 99. For that album bomb, it really did not have any staying power. Now for our returning entries and gains, they make a little bit more sense, with Big Bank by YG featuring 2 Chainz, Big Sean, and Nicki Minaj returning to 56 off the video, and Say Amen Saturday Night and High Hopes by Panic! At the Disco returning thanks to the album to 61 and 84 respectively. Now the last two, honestly, I've got no clue why Sin Piyama by Becky G and Nadia Natasha returned to 83, or why anybody would want Take Back Homegirl by Chris Lane featuring Tori Kelly back at 98. But the gains, they seem just as scattered, with country in particular doing better than I expected with I Was Jack, You Were Diane by Jake Owen surging up to 75, Drowns the Whiskey by Jason Aldean featuring Miranda Lambert up to 73 off that debut, Mercy by Brett Young up to 48, and Tequila by Dan Shay getting an album bump up to 21. Then there's Plug Walk by Rich the Kid getting a boost off the remix to 15. Why anybody thinks this guy is interesting, I've got no idea. But more strangely, we got a sharp rebound for Dura by Daddy Yankee up to 57. One more weird bounce for a song that's had surprising longevity. Now, it's not all good news. Hope by XXXTentacion actually picked up to 70, and I Know You by Lil Skies featuring Young Pitch went to 79, although I do reckon Drake's Arrival with Scorpion will do a serious number on all of those. But the one legitimate surprise for me was Medicine by Queen Naija up to 81, and I can't quite tell you why it went up, so it'll be interesting to see if it can actually maintain momentum. Anyway, we got a pretty small list of new arrivals, so let's start off with number 97, Solo by Clean Bandit featuring Demi Lovato.
But I got nobody here on my own. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Cry since the day we parted. But I got nobody, so I do it so.
There's a part of me that openly questions why I'm still so much of a fan of Demi Lovato, because if I'm being brutally honest with myself, all the potential that she shows is often compromised by her going in the exact opposite direction that she could that flatter her style and delivery. And a few places get more frustrating for me with her than electronic producers. Quite simply, she's too big and raw of a presence to fit in with many of them, so they wind up sanding back a lot of her natural presence for rather unexceptional and bland songs. And thus a collaboration with Clean Bandit, most known for hyper-polished, strings-inflected, delicate grooves, seems like another misstep for Demi. And while that's still mostly true with the song, the issues are surprisingly distinct. For one, who the hell thought it would be a good idea to erase the swears on the hook by using whoop whoop whoop? Did I mean Kanye sneak in a co-writing credit there? And that's before you get to the rubbery groove that seems to owe more to reggaeton and clash rather oddly with the string shove midway to the back, or the jittery acoustic guitar. The song just feels more awkward and clunky than you would expect coming from Clean Bandit of all people, especially with the lyrics as undercooked as they really are. So yeah, you know what, I don't hate this. There's a decent melody here. It is kind of memorable, but I sure as hell don't like this song either. This should be better. Number 95, The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande featuring Nicki Minaj.
It's coming to give back everything the darkness stole. The light is coming to give back everything the darkness stole. The light is coming to give back everything the darkness stole.
So as I said last week, I'm usually a big fan of when Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj team up. It brings out the best, the sultry side in Ariana, and given how underwhelming Bed wound up being, I hope this would be better, and, well, it is certainly different, that's for damn sure. You might think that Nicki Minaj would be more of a presence on the song, but her verse ends pretty quickly, and the much more dominant aesthetic comes in from Pharrell's production, which is built off of a foundation sample from a Democratic 2009 town hall meeting against these burbling synthesizers, a quicker 808 bass groove, and lots of tapping, fizzy percussion. Certainly a pretty interesting groove. You can tell that Nicki Minaj is having a difficult time structuring her verse against it. Now, Ariana's flow is better, but it's also a more structured and developed sound by the time that she gets on board for the passive-aggressive breakup kiss-off, and even she sounds a little bit odd on the hook. But honestly, I kinda dig it. She's relying more on her restrained register. The groove is surprisingly sticky, almost kinda reminiscent of NERD and Rihanna's Lemon. And while this really does remind me of a mid-2000s Neptunes beat, shocker, it's well structured and kinda catchy enough to click for me. Not sure it'll be a crossover hit as it really is a lot less melodic, but I am interested to see what happens. It's a pretty good song. Number 92, Life Changes by Thomas Rhett.
Changes, and I wouldn't change it for the world, oh no, and I wouldn't change it for the world, oh no.
Alright, look, Thomas Rhett got back into my good graces with Marry Me. That's a genuinely great song. I'm so thrilled it's going to make the year-end list for 2018. And yet, since I heard the rest of the album, I knew that everything from there was going to be downhill, and thus we got the title track. And look, even by the standards of doofy pop country, this is starting to reach Andy Grammer levels of cornball whiteness. He's bragging about marrying his girl at 22, said girl getting verified on Instagram, that Walmart is now stocking his CDs, that he adopted a child from Uganda, and whoops, now there's another child on the way. Isn't that swell? I mean, when you pair it with the jaunty pianos and the blocky fake percussion, and the guitars and tupas used more as an accent than anything else. Okay, look, this is on the cusp of being excruciatingly schmaltzy and not really good. It's only really safe from being bad being next to, Well, number 88, Coming Home by Keith Urban featuring Julia Michaels.
Wrap myself around you, never let you go. There's nothing in the world that feels like coming home.
Okay, can somebody explain to me why Nashville keeps snubbing all the actual women in country music to bring on one of the least talented pop artists in the 2010s to get famous? He has even more desaturated pianos, a squeaky guitar fragment that's openly cribbed from a Merle Haggard song, paired with fake hand claps and a rap cadence from Keith Urban that does none of it justice? Seriously, I panned Keith Urban's Graffiti You, and while I did not expect that to be enough to keep this clunker from being sent to radio when I saw this was going to be a single, my god, this should never have charted, and it's damn near offensive in all standards of decency. I really don't like this song. Hell, I guess the one thing I can say is that Julia Michaels is confined to the bridge where she can't do that much damage with her awful voice. And the lyrics, they aren't actively terrible, but yeah, no, not a good song. This blows. And on that topic, number 65, Legends by Juice WRLD.
Silence. This time it was so unexpected. Last time it was the drugs he was lacing. All legends fall in a making. Sorry, truth. Dying young. Demon youth.
The fact that Juice WRLD has risen with a real charting hit so damn fast is genuinely unsettling to me. A black Post Malone who's doubling down on cliched misogynistic angst against a cushion of sloppily mixed and muted synthesizers and plucky guitars. Charming. So now he got his third charting single, which is a tribute song to XXXTentacion and Lil Peep, who he cites as legends that are gone too soon, a status that he now questions whether he wants if this is going to be the consequence. Now, I could question exactly how much either artist should be considered as legends. Forget any personal baggage, neither artist made anything close to passable, and they would have been forgotten within 2 years if they hadn't died. You know that's true. But if Juice WRLD thinks that they were legends to him, I'm not going to deny that. But I will say it's very telling that by the bridge he's already switched up to talking about stealing your girl and flexing as the reverb-drowned keys and guitars. So, yeah, even treating this with some reservations like you would expect in a tribute song, I'm sorry, this is mediocre. I can't call it good. Next. And finally, number 58, Sober by Demi Lovato.
Anymore. And Daddy, please forgive me for the drink spilled on the floor. To the ones who never left me, we've been down this road before. I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore.
Okay, second time's the charm, Demi. I really want to still be a fan. The lead-off single to a new solo album that seems to be coming awfully fast after Tell Me You Love Me. But hey, if you're looking to replace that problematic album with something better, I am definitely on board. And, ooh, wow. I did not expect this. A barren piano ballad where Demi Lovato flat out admits that after so many years, she's not sober. She's relapsed. She's now apologizing to her family, friends, and fans who trusted and believed in her message. Hell, she outright admits that she wanted to be a role model, and yet she failed. And while I'm inclined to nitpick how the pre-chorus feels kind of clumsy, how the song maybe could have used a bridge to really flesh out more of the ideas, the song still packs one hell of a punch because she doesn't mince words describing how she fell off the wagon, and her choice to use a more restrained, hushed delivery makes that hit so much harder than oversold belting. Frankly, I'm a little bit stunned how this crossed over at all. Kind of reminds me of Praying by Kesha and how raw and blunt it feels, just swapping out the massive buildup of that song for something that's more restrained and minimalist and pain-stricken. And yeah, it really clicks. It's really damn good. Not sure it's a song I will revisit very often, but yeah, this is excellent. Definitely worth more attention. And yeah, it's not exactly a really good come-down week, but I will take Sober from Demi Lovato as the easy standout. I'm not sure I would ever expected she could make a song like this, but she really delivered. But yeah, Coming Home by Keith Urban and Julia Michaels is the easy dud. My god, the production on that song is atrocious. Keith Urban used to be good, folks. I swear. Anyway, next week, streaming rules change and Drake will unleash Scorpion upon the charts, so I'm expecting a kind of crazy week. You've all been warned. But until then, I'm Mark, you're watching Billboard Breakdown on Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.